Let me make a prediction. The Epstein files are going to turn into a giant stink bomb, and we do not know the full extent of who it's going to hit yet. This story will explode, and we have no idea how Democrats think. But they believe it is the way to take down Trump. And again, today, they came out to call out more people named in the files.
There were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. Now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner.
Not exactly household names. Wexner's name we've known for a long time. As we told you last night, the Epstein files are about far more than the crimes committed by Jeffrey Epstein and his pal Ghislaine Maxwell. It's about a group of rich, powerful, and influential Americans who had no problem looking past Epstein's sex crime conviction in 2008 to gain access to his circle. The Epstein class, Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Woody Allen, Larry Summers, Katie Couric, George Stephanopoulos, these are just a few of the names of the hundreds who are willing to surrender their own moral fiber to run in Epstein's orbit. And they all hung out with Epstein and curried favor after Epstein's conviction on child sex charges in 2008. Of course, Democrats hope the person they can nail is Donald Trump. For example, Seth Moulton of Massachusetts.
If you're a criminal, you're going to buy your way to freedom with Trump. If you are one of the people like him who took advantage of young girls with Jeffrey Epstein, then we're going to sort of make that go away. I mean, fundamentally, Speaker Johnson...
We don't have evidence that he took advantage of young girls with Jeffrey Epstein.
Right. Just common sense be damned.
And with us now, Congressman Seth Moulton, Democrat of Massachusetts. Congressman, today we found out Trump told Palm Beach police chief, quote, everyone knew about Epstein Maxwell was evil in July 2006, just as Jeffrey Epstein's criminal charges became public. Trump called then Palm Beach police chief Michael Rettner to tell him that Epstein's activities with teenage girls were well known in both New York and Palm Beach. Given that not only since that interview, there has been no evidence that Trump was involved in any way with underage girls, with or without Epstein, and in fact, there has been evidence to the contrary. Do you owe him an apology?
No, absolutely not. I mean, first of all, he's lied about this every step of the way. In 2019, he said, I know nothing about Jeffrey Epstein. So you're holding up this example back in 2006 when he said he knew everything, and it must be innocent because he was calling him a bad guy. And yet when he's in 2019, he says he knows nothing. So there's a reason why his own Department of Justice has redacted his name out of about 96% of the Epstein files. We learned today that Trump's name appears over 1 million times. There are only 6 million files. So that means that every sixth page has Trump's name on it. And so the idea...
That doesn't mean that.
Totally,
there could be multiple pages where his name appears multiple times, but still... You accused the President of the United States. You said because of common sense, he has engaged in this behavior, and there's absolutely no evidence to that. And I'm trying to figure out if this is just guilt by association. You think anybody who knew Jeffrey Epstein, even if they completely cut ties with him when they found out what he was doing, is deserving of some kind of punishment?
Well, first of all, everyone who knew what he was doing and did nothing about it, which clearly is Donald Trump here,
no.
That matters. That matters. I mean, Leland, if you appeared that many times in the Epstein files, do you honestly think you should have your job right now? No way. Absolutely
not.
Not.
I'll ask you. So, okay, hold on. That's a great question. So should George Stephanopoulos, who went to dinner at Jeffrey Epstein's house after the 2008 sex conviction, should he have his job right now?
I mean, that's a fair question. You know, I don't know the details
I'm asking you.
Particular case. Look, I wouldn't employ him. I mean, look,
you don't know the detail. You don't know the details about Donald Trump, but you say, okay. All right,
the Prime Minister
we're going to finish this later.
Might well lose his job because
Congressman, I got to cut you off. We have breaking news out in Arizona. We have breaking news out in Arizona. We're going to finish it sometime later in the week. We'll see you in a minute. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.